Originally, I thought this book was a folk tale that physicists told other physicists. I had heard stories for years about quantum, and string theorists losing their minds at the complexities of the equations. When science begins to look like magic, our minds just can't reconcile the contradictions. You know, it was all a bunch of crap as far as I was concerned. That is until Wilbur Whatley came into the library where I was given a lecture on dimensional fields and God particles, I believe it was. It's a giant of a man, huge. It turns out he wasn't even a man, he was 15 years old. Wilbert was convinced that the library held a copy of the Necronomicon. We consulted the curator, Dr. Morgan, and discovered that the book was there, had been for over 100 years. Whatley wanted to take the book with him. He was studying it, he was looking it over. There was something he wanted from it. Morgan, he insisted that was out of the question. Whatley, he flipped. He left angry. He vowed he would find another copy of it. Or I didn't even know what was going on at the time. I was confused as just about everybody else in the place. After Wilbur had left, Morgan and I went over the pages that he had been looking at. And I recognized some of the symbols as part of a formula. The formula that explains an event horizon. This was a 3,000-year-old text. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it at the time. Now I can believe in anything. I stuck around and I studied this book. I mean, it was amazing. A few weeks later, when I was coming back to the library after a pizza break, Morgan and I found that someone had broken into the library. Morgan, who had become paranoid, and began leaving his huge dog there whenever we left the building. Turns out it was a good idea because the dog had attacked and killed Wilbur. At first, we were shocked. He was normally a really nice dog, but when we walked in there and we saw what was left of Whatley, we understood why that the dog had acted so violently. He wasn't human. Not entirely human. His blood was a thick, green goo. Yeah, tentacles. Tentacles. And I think his legs, I think he had goat legs and hooves. We dug into the book after that. I knew Wilbur was working on something terrible. I soon learned that he was keeping something horrible in that home. It was something that had been growing for 15 years.